Joining me right now is Raphael Scott. He'll be facing Lochlan Eadie at Hex Fight Series 14 on June 30th. What's going on, Raphael?
Yeah, it's Sunday here, man. Just chilling, doing a bit of food prep, cleaning the house, hanging out with the kids. You know how it is.
And your dog, huh?
Yeah, that's my kids. They're my kids. I got another one, an English bulldog as well. This is my Pomeranian.
Oh, it's a
She's a
Pomeranian. I've never even seen a dog like that before.
nah, nah, she's a little fluff ball. I got a big bullfed bulldog as well. He's a bit of a contrast, but that's good.
Are you a dog person? You like animals?
Yeah, I like my dogs. Not so much other people's. Nah, I do like dogs, but yeah, I like my dogs more than anything. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, growing up, did you play a lot of sports? Were you into like other hobbies? Were you into gaming and stuff like that?
Nah, I've got brothers. I grew up in the country in New South Wales. I've got a younger brother, two older brothers, and a sister. So, always outside, lots of fights with them. Always sort of wrestling, climbing trees, things like that. Bit of a real country kid. I didn't grow up in the city at all.
When you were going outside, playing outside, and you see kids nowadays, they're all stuck in the house. They don't really do anything. What do you think about this?
Yeah. Nah, it's not cool, eh? Less screen. I don't even have a TV, so the less screen, the better, I reckon. Get outside, do some stuff, hang out with your mates. I was always riding push bikes. Yeah, just doing shit outside, eh?
You grew up in like kind of like the countryside. So how did you get into mixed martial arts?
I've lived in Melbourne a bit over more than half my life now. So came down here when I was a teenager. Brothers were getting in a bit of trouble where we were growing up in the country, not much to do there. And then I just ended up living around the corner from Renegade MMA, and I always watched UFC. I wasn't really doing anything. I hadn't played sport in a long time. I actually smashed my foot they said it was like a bag of sand, the doctors, when I used to ride motorbikes. So when I was like 21, 22, I did that. And then I got into MMA when I was like 25 or 26. And yeah, I hadn't done anything since riding motorbikes and just loved it. Just kept at it. Training started off a couple of days a week. Then it pretty much turned into full time.
25 years old. Nowadays, that's kind of like starting your career late, right? So what kind of challenge did you have starting at that age?
Look, I think it's not a bad age. I reckon 20 is a good age to start. Anything in your teens, you're a bit young. You haven't got the mind for it, and you are getting hit in the head a lot. And if you're 20, your body can still adapt and regrow and grow and condition itself pretty quickly. I think that's probably my biggest hurdle is the injuries and the time it takes to recover being older. But I've sort of I battle that now with good food and good diet, making sure I'm always eating the right things. But I feel like you sort of got a life expectancy in fighting as it is. It might be 10 to 15 years, but where you start, that's as long as you're going to be able to do it. It's a brutal sport. I don't think you can do it forever. I think you've got like a bit of a lifespan in it. So mine's not too bad, 25 to 30. I mean, 15 years of doing it, that's 40. Like there's people still doing it at 40 in the UFC. So it's doable. Yeah. And, if you look after yourself, look after your diet, I think anything's really possible.
You turned pro in 2015. What was the turning point, in your career where you're like, hey man, I gotta go professional with this thing?
I don't know. I always wanted to fight. I think I like competition. I think that's probably the main thing. I started jiu-jitsu at first, and I competed within the first month. I competed, and I love competition, testing myself, and then I love fighting. And I had a few matchups to go amateur, but when I started, there wasn't a great deal of shows like there is now. And I got injured a couple of times and wasn't able to do the amateur shows. And then by the time it came around and there was a fight offered. It was a pro because there wasn't too many amateur shows. I just jumped on it and decided to go for it. And yeah, won my first one and I won the first 3. So just ran with it.
Yeah, you started your career off, with much success, 3 exciting finishes in a row.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by the success you were having?
Looking back on it, yes and no. Yes. I don't think you don't. That's not something I was thinking about really. I just like doing it. Like I didn't really like. I've still got a job. I've got my own business. It's never sort of been like I have to win. I have to do it. I just do it because I like doing it. That's why I do it. And it was just, yeah, it's just good that it came off with a couple of 3 exciting wins. So, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely drew a lot of attention, and then you went up in competition. In
Yeah.
your last 2 fights, you hit a rough patch. What were some of the
Yeah.
things that you can take from these setbacks to move forward?
So I've started boxing a lot. After Aiden, I took that one on the chin. I was like, oh, it was a bit of a stupid mistake. I know not to slip and get caught with that kick. But then with Lance, it made me realize a lot of things that I was missing in my game. Go back to the drawing board. One of them was boxing, a lot of head move, a lot of movement. And since then, I've got a head boxing coach now, and I've got a head MMA coach that looks specifically. I'm their only MMA student for my boxing and my MMA coach, and they review a lot of my stuff and, in-depth, personalized opinions to how I should be fighting. What suits my style, where my holes are, where I should be, where I should angle it. Yeah, it's been great. It's been awesome the last year. Just been able to just train and focus on fixing those holes.
So what teams are you working with right now?
So my boxing is at the gym out of the gym in Yarraville, which is just a close boxing gym under Lim Jekka, who's a pretty well-known boxing coach in Australia. And my cousin actually does my MMA. He's had a few fights. He's just got does a lot of coaching in other disciplines as well. He's just like a bit of more of an all-round coach. And I'm still at Renegade as well, under Callum Potter and Jamie Murray. So a lot of grappling, and AET is their affiliate, which is the #1 affiliate in Australia at the moment. So I'm getting plenty of grappling in there. So yeah, it's pretty well rounded, and yeah, my cousin oversees it all and tries to put it all together the best he can.
Yeah, after, you've been staying active since your pro debut, but recently you took a long layoff. Like, what was the reasons for that?
I had a hernia operation. So I had a small tear in my belly button, got that sorted. And then I had a couple of other joint injuries. I'm just training with bigger guys like Dan Kelly, Jake Matthews. Yeah, we're not baking cakes. It is a tough sport. Get thrown around a bit, and you do get injuries. And yeah, that's why I've been off for a year, and all good now. Good recovery. Yeah, yeah, nice and strong now, ready to go.
Yeah, you're returning at Hex Fight Series 14 against Lochlan.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you heard the name?
I didn't know him. I don't know too much about him. My coach has looked a little bit into him. It's funny. I won't name names, but I got offered a couple of other fights. I accepted, and the guys didn't want to fight me. So Lockie was sort of the last option. And yeah, I had to get back in there. So that's what it is.
Yeah, he is making his pro debut against you, but he has had a successful amateur career. Do you think putting him against you in his pro debut is kind of a mistake?
On his behalf? Yeah. Look, if he wants to fight, he wants to fight. Like, you got to step it up. Pros are pros. I think he's a similar level in jiu-jitsu. I don't know how long he's been training for, but, he's probably been training a similar time. Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to wreck him.
How do you see this fight playing out on June 30th?
It can go. It's good now that I've got my head coach looking after it. I've got a strategy for wherever it goes, up, down, on the cage, on the ground. I know I can finish him wherever I want to. It's not going to be. I want to take my time with it. The first couple of fights were quick. I got to the second round in the last two, so maybe second or third. I want to get a bit of time in the cage, get used to it again so I can get another fight later in the year.
All right, June 30th, Hex Fight Series 14. Raphael Scott will take on Lochlan Eadie in a lightweight contest. Thank you for your time, Raphael, and good luck to you, sir.
Cheers, bro.